the magic stencil screen worth it, and does it even work? Today we'll be testing out my new magic stencil screen. I have not used this before, so it'll be first impressions together. I am very excited though, because every time I airbrush, there always seems to be a little bit of blowback, and this screen is supposed to prevent that. So let's give it a whirl and see how it works together. Okay, so I just opened up the package here, and the screen looks pretty nice. I would say it is similar to like a splatter screen for when you're like frying in like a frying pan, but it seems there are like at least like maybe 2 layers of screen together. So it's extremely fine. It's way finer than the frying pan. The instructions say to place the screen over the stencil, and it should prevent any overspray that we sometimes get with airbrush machines. So let's give it a try, and I hope this works. All right, so let's put this together. We're supposed to use the stencil holder, the stencil, then the magic screen, and then the holder on top. So like this, like a very big, thick sandwich. So there's kind of a lot going on here, but I hope this works. I chose a stripe stencil because I think this will be a really good test. So let's get our cookie ready. I'll put the stencil on top, like that. I feel like using a dark color for this will be a good test. So I'm gonna use this royal blue color. So let's add some of this dark blue to our airbrush. Just a couple of drops is all we need. Let's turn this on. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, this time I'll try not to spill the dye. So let's turn this on and see how it goes. Just trying to get those stripes done. Make sure I get the edges of the cookie. We don't want to forget about that area. But I want to make sure those stripes are nice and dark, and it looks pretty even to me. Let's cross our fingers and hope that this worked nicely. Oh my gosh, it looks great. Wow, oh, that looks amazing. These lines are so crisp. I've never been able to achieve lines like that. Oh my God, I'm just genuinely stunned. Let's see what happens when I don't use the screen, because I think that really will be the most honest comparison we can get. I'm gonna put the stencil in between the frame here in the same way, just on top of the cookie without the screen. So let's see how that works. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see how well that worked without the screen. So I think this also looks pretty good. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there are some areas that are a little overblown, but I mean, not by much. This still looks pretty crisp to me. This is the one with the stencil. It is a little bit lighter with the lines, yes, but it is a little bit more crisp. These lines are just a touch more blurry. I'm sure it's a little hard to see on camera because they are so close. So I'll toss in a close-up photograph so you can see the differences, but looking at them, this one is definitely more crisp. I know they're a little darker and lighter, but this one does have a little overspray over those lines. They're just certainly not as crisp as these ones. I think it makes sense to add a screen on top of the stencil to kind of capture all of that overspray that you would normally get. It does take a little extra focus to concentrate in the areas you want to, because that screen is preventing the airbrush from getting through in a way. So you kind of have to go a little more. As you can see, I thought I airbrushed these the same amount, but this one's definitely darker without the screen. So if you're looking for a darker look, you'll have to concentrate the flow a little bit more. But I mean, I'm just really impressed with this tool. I definitely recommend it. I'll drop a link in the description so you can grab it. And yeah, I hope this helped. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe. I've got even more sweet techniques coming your way.